Hello students, and welcome back to class. In this video, we'll learn how to change decimals into fractions. And I notice in the instructions that it says that my fraction should be in simplest form. Here's how you do it. If my decimal is 0.45 or 45/100ths, we'll change it into a fraction by putting the 45 in the numerator. In the denominator, count the number of decimal places behind the decimal point. There's 2 places behind the decimal point, then there should be 2 zeros in my answer. 0.45 is 45/100ths, or 45/100ths, written this way. Now, simplest form means to reduce. Well, I notice that both 45 and 100 are divisible by 5. If I divide these both by 5, 45 divided by 5 and 100 divided by 5, then 9/20, that's my best answer. Let's try it again for number 2. For number 2, I have negative 0.408. Put the 408 in the numerator. I notice that it's negative. I'll put the negative in the numerator as well. Now count the number of place values behind the decimal point. There's 1, 2, 3. 3 place values behind the decimal point means 3 zeros in my answer. Negative 0.408 is the same as negative 408/1000ths. Now let's try to reduce. Well, certainly 408 and 1000 are both even numbers. So we'll divide by 2 and divide by 2. That's negative 204 over 500. Those are both even numbers. Let's divide by 2. Divide by 2. That's negative 102 over 250. Even numbers again. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. That's negative 51 over 125. And that doesn't reduce any further. Any chance I could use the calculator on your cell phone?
Yeah. How much is this thing?
Calculator on your cell phone. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Now, if we're tricky, we might be able to do this problem quicker. Let's restart it. Negative 408 over 1000. I'm going to notice that top and bottom are both divisible by 8. That way I can do this in one step. In the top, I need 408 divided by 8. And in the bottom, 1000 divided by 8. I get the same answer of negative 51 over 125, but I got it in one step. I'll take your work either way. On number 3, I have 9.2. Let's rewrite that as 9 then a fraction. To change 0.2 into a fraction, put the 2 in the numerator, and notice that there's one place value to the right of the decimal point, which means 1 0 in your answer. Now try to reduce. 2 is divisible by 2. 10 is divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 9.2 is the same as 9 1/5. To change 0.4 into a fraction, put the 4 in the numerator. I see that there's one place value to the right of the decimal point, so 1 0 in my answer. 0.4 is the same as 4/10. Now reduce. I can divide by 2 and divide by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Best answer. This is the way I want you to show your work on your homework. Write the problem down, change it to a fraction, then reduce. Show all three parts. On number 5, 0.61, put the 61 in the numerator, and then count in the denominator 1, 2 place values to the right of the decimal point. Means 1, 2 zeros in my answer. 0.61 is 61 100ths. But nothing divides evenly into 61 other than 1 in itself. So 61 over 100 does not reduce. If it doesn't reduce, then we're done right here. On number 6, I'll put the 305 in the numerator. It's negative. Now count the place values in the denominator. 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3 zeros in my denominator. Negative 0.305 is the same as negative 305 1/1000ths. Now reduce. Now these, since this ends in a 5 and this ends in a 0, they are certainly both divisible by 5. If you can do that in your head, great. If not, grab that calculator. Let's divide 305 by 5 and divide 1,000 by 5. And 61 over 200, that's my good final answer. Let's change this one into a fraction. The only thing I'll put in the numerator is this 6. But in my denominator, I still must count the number of place values to the right of the decimal point. There's 2 place values to the right, so 2 zeros in my answer. Negative 0.06 is the same as negative 6 100ths. Now reduce. We'll divide by 2 and divide by 2. Divide by 2 in the numerator, divide by 2 in the denominator. I like negative 3 over 50. For number 8, when there's a number to the left of the decimal point, that goes there. To the right of the decimal point is 0.7. That's 7 in the numerator, 1 0 in the denominator, and 7/10 does not reduce. So 4.7 is 4 7/10. Let's do number 9 the same way. Copy the 6. Put the 4 in the numerator. But now count the place values to the right of the decimal point. There are 3. 6.004 is the same as 6 and 4 1/1000ths. Now reduce. I'll divide by 2 and divide by 2. That's going to reduce again. Divide by 2 and divide by 2. There's my best answer for number 9. All right, your turn to do some homework. Work hard. I'll see you back here.